The Indian diaspora has made our nation proud through the significant contributions that they have made to the development of the nations which they have chosen to make their homes. It's a matter of pride for every Indian that today there are at least 5 heads of states or heads of government and over 70 senior political leaders such as deputy heads of states, speakers and ministers in various countries who can trace their roots in India. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Rakeshwar Prayag, the President of Mauritius, is one such eminent personality. He epitomizes the spirit of leadership and public service that the people of Indian origin have so famously exhibited. We are delighted and grateful that he is here with us today as a shining symbol of the Indian diaspora in the world and as the representative of the 2/3 of the people of Mauritius who are of Indian origin and Mauritius. I welcome Your Excellency and your charming wife amidst us today. India has a deep and enduring relationship with Mauritius. India-Mauritius relations continue to grow on the bedrock of the historical and cultural links between the diaspora and India. It is a particular delight that 12th March, that is celebrated as the National Day of Mauritius, is also the day that marking the beginning of Dandi March by Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi had too made a brief stopover in Mauritius in 1901 on his journey from South Africa to India. Ladies and gentlemen, Indian diaspora has today grown to an estimated 25 million in as many as 110 countries. It's a story of many geographies and many histories. The vast and diverse overseas Indian community grew for a variety of reasons attributable mainly to the mercantilism, colonialism, and globalization. The divergent patterns of settlement, the varying degrees of integration with their new homelands, and the emergence of new identities and ethos make the Indian diaspora unique in many respects. It epitomizes a saga of trials, tribulations, and the eventful triumph of the will and hard work. There is virtually no field in human endeavor that does not have your imprint. The Indian diaspora is present in significant numbers in Canada, Malaysia, Singapore, Mauritius, South Africa, USA, UK, Gulf nations, and the countries in the West Indies. I am told that in Bahrain, every established business organization in that country has an Indian employee in senior or middle management level. Some of the brightest minds of the Indian diasporas have also been able to make their mark in the field of high technology. Late Dr. Hargobind Khorana was awarded the Nobel Prize of Medicine in 1968. Late Dr. S. Chandrasekhar was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1983, has the premier X-ray observatory of NASA named after him, and the latest addition to this glorious list is Dr. Venkatraman Ramakrishnan, who won the 2009 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. While we celebrate the accomplishments of the diaspora, we should also not forget that many of them are struggling to establish themselves and many are facing hardships. Some of them are working as laborers and domestic helps. Many of them face difficulties on account of stringent labor laws, difficult working conditions, non-receipt of salaries, premature termination of contracts, change of contractual obligations, etc. Our missions abroad have been working hard to solve many of these problems. The diaspora can also lend a helping hand in this regard. They too could share information with the various organizations under the Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs on the change in laws and conditions of employment and help those in need in times of crises such as bereavements, etc. I have been informed that diaspora organizations, especially in the Gulf countries, do provide such services. Strengthening of such social service and philanthropic organizations may be something that the affluent sections of the diaspora could seriously think into. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also make this opportunity to remind you, India today is a land of immense opportunities. It is the third largest economy in the world on the basis of purchasing power parity basis. It too has the second fastest growing economy after China. In 6 out of the last 9 years, our country has managed to grow at a rate of above 8%. Due to the slowdown in the global economy and other factors, the growth rates have declined from 8.4% in 2010-11 to 6.5% in 2011-12 and further to 5.4% in the first half of the current fiscal year. However, as India's economy has demonstrated its ability to weather the external shocks in the past, I am confident that this resilient character of the economy will help to reverse the short-term deceleration and bring economic growth back to the level of 8 to 9%. You too can become the partners in the progress of the nation. For the accelerated growth of the economy, the investment level has to increase. As you all know, the rapid economic growth in India after 2003-04 was accompanied by a rise in the investment rate, which had declined after reaching its highest level in 2007-08. Thus, a revival in the high investment rate in the country is a must for the economy to regain its 8% growth levels. You all could help in the process of investing in Indian companies and establishing new ventures. The yield of Indian equity market is amongst the highest in the world, and many of the most famous companies have established business here for seeking to do so. As the finance minister, I had the privilege of opening the Indian capital market to qualified foreign investors. Initially, we permitted qualified foreign investors to invest in the Indian mutual funds, and on 1st January 2012, in a far-reaching decision, we opened the doors for them to directly invest in Indian equities. Soon thereafter, the corporate bond markets was opened to qualified foreign investors. You may therefore also like to look at the opportunity that India offers in this regard and take advantage of the high yield that you are likely to get by investing in the Indian capital markets. India has also set up a friendly regime to enable Indians abroad to remit money to the country. NRIs can deposit money in the country under the non-resident external rupee account scheme, non-resident ordinary rupees account scheme, and foreign currency non-resident account bank schemes. These schemes have been welcomed by the diaspora, that they had deposited close to $67 billion at the end of October 2012. The net private transfers from abroad during the first half of 2012-13 was close to $33 billion. These figures bear testimony to the fact that Indians abroad find it both emotionally and financially fulfilling to invest in India, especially in view of the sound economic fundamentals of the country. The theme of this year's Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, Engaging Diaspora, the Indian Growth Story, should explore ways and means to encourage further participation by the diaspora to give additional impetus to India's growth story. I also wish to see Indian diaspora as a stronger partner, not only in India's economic growth, but also in building India's knowledge society, while continue to engage culturally and emotionally and serving as the effective ambassadors that they have been for this country. I am happy to note that we have created institutions that enable India to interact with its diaspora more comprehensively. Since 2006, the Union Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs has set up institutions like the Overseas Investment Facilitation Centers for enhancing economic engagement with the diaspora, and the India Development Foundation of Overseas Indians to channel the philanthropic impulses of the overseas Indians. The Know India and scholarship programs have been introduced to provide overseas youth of Indian origin exposures to the country's culture, heritage and economic growth. Overseas citizenship and pensions of Indian origin cards have been introduced to facilitate easy travel to India. These are only some of the important measures introduced to strengthen the bonds with the overseas Indians. There is an important role that each one of you can play in India's journey to becoming a strong, just and equitable society and taking its rightful place in the Committee of Nations. I am sure that the various seminars and sessions that you have attended over the last 3 days would prove itself in many ways. Besides giving you more information on the opportunities that India offers you today, they would have been given you an insight into the several initiatives that have been taken to ensure social development and inclusive growth in the country. With the knowledge and experience you have gained as academics, scholars, scientists, technologists, professionals, and successful businessmen, you can play a decisive role in the development of India. I have no doubt that together we will keep our tryst with destiny. I wish you all success in your endeavors and join in celebrating and acknowledging that we are proud of your achievements and the invaluable service that you have rendered India, the nation of your roots. Thank you.